Okay, here we are at Mariposa Talks Live at the 2019 Mariposa Folk Festival. I'm talking here with Jeremy Fisher, who's a singer-songwriter. And Jeremy, tell us a bit about yourself to begin with. Where are you from originally?
I'm originally from Hamilton, Ontario. Yeah. Now I live in Ottawa.
How did you get into music? Was there a lot of music in your family at home? Or?
Music skipped a generation in my family. My dad played a bit of piano, but both my grandfathers were musicians.
Oh yeah.
So, and I didn't really know them, but our house became the catch-all for the inherited instruments, and my parents put me in piano lessons starting around 6 or something like that, and I've gotten to play a lot of everything growing up. And
what made you want to be a professional musician?
I started making a living from music when I was in high school. I started teaching guitar, and I started working in my summers. I started working in the pit orchestra at a local theater company, and I think that was it. I also played in a touring jazz band called the Hamilton All-Star Jazz Band. I was the guitar player in that for a couple years, and so I got a taste of it when I was like in my late teens. And I thought, and was starting to make money like my friends were making money working at McDonald's or teaching at Kumon or whatever. And I was just like, this is great. I just never want to stop.
We don't know this road we ride on. We don't barely know ourselves. Don't take nothing for granted. Don't take nothing from no one else.
Kind of originally were kind of blues influenced. Is that true?
Yeah, it's funny on my, like on iTunes or Apple Music or whatever. I think it's my first record's in like the blues folk category, okay. And I definitely had a heavy country blues influence. I was more into like the Mississippi John Hurt, right. the Blind Blake sort of school of country blues, which was more like, folk songs with that particular sort of like finger style. Most recently, I've gone into the children's music realm, and I've brought back the country blues vibe.
Everybody save the date, 'cause in the month of May he gonna marry the love of his life. It was the last beat of her heart when death had done the party. Said, gonna make this corpse my bride.
What do you hope to achieve with your music, apart from earning a living?
Well, I thought about that just brushing my teeth this morning. Like, what's the point of all this?
Yeah, what is the point of your existence? Yeah.
I think, truly, the older I get, and, talking about my grandfather, certainly my mom's father, who, as a Newfoundlander was like, based on the recordings and the stories I've heard from him, he was like a true entertainer. And he was a guy who was always on in the living room or on the stage. And I think that's what I do. There's a purpose. It's really to lift people's spirits and try and heighten emotions and bring people together. I mean, trying to, make people laugh. Maybe not make them cry, but get them like on the brink.
Well, you can make them cry as long as you're intending to do that.
Yeah, in a good way.
After Mariposa, what's coming up for you in the near future?
My first kids record is called Highway to Spell, and the follow-up to that's going to be called Appetite for Instruction. And I'm working on songs for that, and we're also developing a cartoon. So I'm going to turn into a cartoon. Be my own cartoon.
Wow!
It's called Jeremy and Toonbug, and it's it's a character based on me, obviously, who's like a storytelling troubadour, and it's got elements of Dr. Seuss, with like a rhymey narrative, and each episode's based on a song. Writing the music, obviously, and I'm doing some of the screenwriting for it as well. So it's a whole new.
That's a whole departure.
It's a huge departure, and it's really exciting. And so far, it's been a ton of work.
Yeah.
And a lot of fun.
Yeah.